My wife has become infatuated with that young and accomplished partner at her company. At our wedding anniversary party, many of my wife's work partners attended. When the party began, the carefully crafted memory video I made was replaced with intimate interactions between my wife and that young colleague. My wife went along with it. Everyone at the company says we're a match made in heaven. Since none of these business partners know you anyway, they'd be more willing to cooperate if Leo were my husband. Everyone who knows me is waiting for me to lose control and make a scene, but I don't cry or cause trouble. Instead, I applaud enthusiastically. At any rate, this marriage exists in name only now, and I don't want this wife anymore. As I look at Leo Vance in his high-end custom-made suit, he seems more like the main character of today's events than me, the supposed host. It seems everything had been prepared in advance. I handed the cue cards for my upcoming speech to Leo Vance, ignored the onlookers' eager anticipation for drama, and left the party venue directly. I walked out of the banquet hall all the way to the parking lot without my wife Maya Roberts coming after me. Apparently, my departure suited her just fine. In that case, I had even less reason to object. I hadn't had a proper meal all day since morning preparations for this party. I headed straight for Bayview City's most famous Golden Spoon restaurant, my old favorite spot where Maya used to accompany me weekly during our newlywed days. I don't know since when, Maya's eyes no longer held me, and along with that, all the emotions accumulated over so many years simply vanished into thin air. Maya disliked worrying about trivial matters. She thought throwing parties was the most troublesome thing. I had started preparations 2 months prior, ensuring every detail was foolproof. From the smallest things like floral arrangements and menus, to more significant aspects such as the guest list, venue, and schedule for the entire party. Back when we got married, we had a destination wedding just as Maya wished, while I always longed for a ceremony witnessed by friends and family. This anniversary party was supposed to be like a second wedding Maya wanted to offer me as compensation. I didn't need to think twice to know that the video being swapped out at this party was no accident. I'd put too much care into every detail. That video compilation was painstakingly edited by hand over countless hours, chronicling everything from Maya's and my first dates through 5 years of marriage. Having grown together from naive youths to where we are now, claiming this doesn't hurt would be a lie. But disappointment accumulates drop by drop until you go numb. That's why today at the party, I could walk away so effortlessly, completely unfazed. I swallowed the last bite of delicious food, digesting every last bit of grievance along with it, and finally reached a decision in my heart. Back home, I took a shower and was just about to get some sleep when Maya's call came in. "Ethan, where are you?" I didn't know any of the party's later arrangements and almost made a fool of myself. Maya's tone was full of disdain and impatience, as if I were just some waiter at this party who could be summoned and dismissed at will. I deliberately countered her question. "I've already gone home. What's up? Do you need me to come back?" Maya on the other end of the line hesitated for a moment. Never mind. The party ended perfectly anyway, so there's no need for you to come." With that, she hung up. Of course I knew she wouldn't really want me to go now that the party was over. She'd surely want some quality time alone with that young and talented partner of hers. Why would she let me go and disturb them? I caught up on some good sleep at home. I'd been so busy with party preparations these past few days that I'd missed out on a lot of rest. When I woke up feeling fully rested, it was already past midnight, and Maya had already returned home. Maya had changed out of her formal daytime attire and was now wearing a comfortable dress, her cheeks rosy, looking in good spirits. The moment she saw me, her cheerful expression dimmed slightly. "Why didn't you answer my calls or reply to my messages?" I stretched lazily and answered nonchalantly, "I was asleep." Maya squinted at me for a long moment before asking impatiently, "You're not throwing a tantrum over what happened earlier, are you? Be reasonable, I was just doing my job. Everyone at the company knows Leo and I work in perfect sync. We're the golden couple of the office. If clients think we're an item, they'll be even more inclined to support us. All right, you two are the perfect golden couple. So my wedding anniversary party has now become your engagement party, huh?" I sneered inwardly, wondering if she'd gotten so excited today that she'd lost her damn mind. I couldn't be bothered to respond and just shrugged. Maya clearly wasn't satisfied with my attitude, her gaze turning probing as she opened her mouth to say more until the front door swung open. Leo Vance appeared familiarly at the bedroom doorway carrying a bag, putting on an exaggerated shy smile. "Maya, you forgot your clothes. I brought them over for you." "Oh, Ethan, you're here too. Hope I'm not interrupting anything." Maya had entered Leo Vance's fingerprint into our smart lock system, so Leo could enter our home as freely as his own. Without the slightest hesitation, Maya gently took the paper bag. "You really didn't have to come deliver this so late. You could have just waited for me to pick it up next time." The two of them were making eyes at each other, their gazes practically dripping with honey. I felt a sudden chill and couldn't help but shudder. Maya seemed to have found reason to mock me, looking at me with even more self-righteousness. "Not to criticize, but can't you try learning from Leo? He's younger than you, yet so much more sensible in every way." At today's party, they handled all those guests single-handedly with such ease, while you cower like a turtle retreating into its shell at the slightest trouble. The party ended in such chaos. If it weren't for Leo, I wouldn't have known what to do. But you just washed your hands of it and went home alone, oblivious. Maya was mid-sentence when I cut in. I was wrong. The next instant, both Maya and Leo froze. Their anticipated meltdown from me never came. Instead, my unexpected calmness caught them completely off guard. I neither cried nor made a scene, nor even uttered a word of rebuttal. I simply stared at Maya with a fixed, emotionless gaze. Everyone knew I loved Maya to the marrow of my bones, having given up everything for her. Before meeting her, I was that prodigious painter who unleashed his genius freely upon the canvas. My works could move hearts. They were my way of conversing with the world, and the outlet for my deepest emotions. Yet, all of this quietly changed the moment I met Maya. Back then, Maya was just an ordinary employee at the company. But her smile and her gaze filled me with an unprecedented sense of warmth and peace. For her, I was willing to give up everything, including the art world that had once made me shine so brightly. My family's opposition came like a violent storm. They couldn't comprehend why I would abandon our family's centuries-old artistic legacy for an ordinary woman. But in my heart, Maya was the one worth sacrificing everything for. So without hesitation, I severed ties with my family, just to be with her. During those days, we relied on each other for survival. Though life was hard, we were happy. I cared for her with all my heart, staying by her side, trying to build a solid fortress of love around her so she could feel a sense of security like never before. With my support, Maya courageously embarked on her entrepreneurial journey. Her company grew from scratch, gradually expanding and reaching the peak of success. I felt proud of her and took comfort in having accompanied her through this challenging journey. However, as Maya achieved professional success, our relationship quietly began to change. She became increasingly busy, often working late into the night, and even weekends slipped beyond her grasp. I tried to understand her hardships, giving her ample space and support, but gradually, I began to sense someone else had entered her heart. At first, Maya only casually praised Leo Vance's talent and youthful accomplishment in front of me. The new guy Leo at the company is really capable. We hit it off so well, I'm sure we'll make a great team. I didn't think much of it at first, assuming it was just her way of acknowledging a competent colleague. But as time went on, she began frequently comparing me to Leo Vance, making no secret of her admiration for him. My heart sank as an ominous feeling crept over me. One day, I finally noticed Maya was starting to stay late with Leo Vance more often, even going out together on weekends. Her smile, the smile that once belonged only to me, now appeared more frequently in Leo's presence. I protested, made a scene, only to be met with Maya's irritation. Can't you be more reasonable? It's just work. I only see Leo as a little brother. Stop being unreasonable. I'm exhausted, Ethan. Your love is too selfish. I knew her heart no longer belonged to me completely. Facing all this, I felt unprecedented pain and confusion. I even began to reflect on myself. Had I not done enough? Was I truly no match for Leo Vance? I exhausted every means to win Maya back, but today's absurd incident at the party suddenly made me realize how foolish I've been. This relationship hasn't been worth it for a long time. Maya clearly didn't expect such a lukewarm reaction from me, asking incredulously, "What did you say?" I adjusted my posture, sitting upright as I spoke with deliberate detachment. I said I was wrong. I was wrong to abandon everything for you, wrong to try reclaiming a heart that never loved me. Loving you was my mistake, and going against my family to be with you was wrong too. But now, I've decided to cut my losses in time. Under Maya's incredulous gaze, I spoke those words. Maya Roberts, let's get divorced. Maya's handbag fell to the floor. Leo Vance couldn't hide his smugness, looking almost jubilant. I'm really afraid he wouldn't be able to hold back and burst out laughing, considering how eagerly he's been waiting for this moment. Maya frowned, but her reaction was unexpectedly calm. Ethan Sterling, are you drunk? Or just sleep-talking? Say that again. I was afraid she might have been too excited to hear clearly, so I quickly repeated it with precise articulation. I say, Maya Roberts, let's get divorced. After I finished speaking, I waited quietly for Maya's agreement. Instead, Maya frowned and kept looking at me, as if trying to figure out whether I was serious or just being stubborn. Several minutes passed before she uncomfortably turned her face away, her tone unexpectedly carrying a touch of softness. I'll take it as you spouting nonsense in a fit of temper. I won't hold it against you. Even if you're unhappy, you can't just casually bring up divorce. It's very hurtful. With so many years of affection between us, we understand each other too well to casually talk about divorce. I'm staying at the company tonight. You stay home and properly reflect on yourself. No more nonsense next time. Maya didn't give me a chance to argue, walking straight out the door, with Leo following in stunned confusion. This really puzzled me. These past few days, those two had been all lovey-dovey right under my nose, thick as thieves. Today she even openly posted intimate photos together at the party. I thought she couldn't wait to divorce me so she could be with Leo Vance, but on second thought, maybe it's for the best. There are still some unfinished matters to handle. After I draft the divorce papers tomorrow and go see her directly, she'll probably agree. I pulled the covers over my head and went back to sleep, not waking until the sun was high in the sky the next day. My phone remained silent, no calls, no messages. Without hesitation, I called my lawyer and had the divorce papers drawn up. After receiving the agreement, I got up, tidied myself, and contacted some old friends from my art circle days to arrange a dinner gathering. Those friends were the dear companions I'd made during my colorful years in the art world. Each of them had witnessed my passionate dedication to painting and knew well my complete absorption before the canvas. In those days, my heart was entirely consumed by the pursuit of art. When I decided to quit the art world for Maya and devote myself wholeheartedly to her care, they accused me of being blinded by love, believing that abandoning my talent and dreams for a woman was far too impulsive and foolish. At that time, although I had some hesitation and reluctance in my heart, the power of love compelled me to step onto this irrevocable path without looking back. So when I decided to pick up the paintbrush again and return to the art world, these old friends gathered by my side once more. Ethan, though we don't know what made you change your mind, we all support you. As long as you're back, we'll stand with you. Yes, I've thought it all through. Let's hold art exhibitions together, open a studio, and fulfill our old dreams. The meal was thoroughly enjoyable. When I got up to settle the bill at the counter, I unexpectedly heard a familiar voice. Turning around, I saw Maya and Leo Vance sitting intimately in a lover's booth, all lovey-dovey with each other. They were sharing a small cake, even playfully smearing cream on each other's mouths with their lips. Their sweetness and affection stung my eyes. I walked over slowly. Maya clearly hadn't expected to see me here. She was startled, a flicker of panic flashing through her eyes. Ethan Sterling? What are you doing here? Leo Vance immediately chimed in, pretending to be just as startled as she was. Ethan, don't tell me you're following us. Don't you trust Maya at all? Filing for divorce yesterday and stalking her today. I wasn't in the mood to argue with him. I knew it was all a coincidence. But what I understood even more clearly was that the bond between her and me had perhaps truly reached its end. I took out the divorce papers I'd prepared long ago and silently placed them before her. Somewhat guiltily, she tried to explain, fine, so you were following me. Just don't do it again. And earlier I wasn't feeling well, so we were feeding each other. Don't be jealous for no reason. I ignored her explanation and just silently watched her. She hastily skimmed through the agreement, perhaps feeling guilty, or perhaps eager to escape the awkward situation before her. She signed her name in a hurry without reading it carefully. Only after she signed did I tell her that it was a divorce agreement. Has your mind really become this unsettled? Signing without even looking properly. Her face instantly turned pale, her eyes filled with disbelief and fury. This doesn't count. Leo Vance seemed surprised that the divorce agreement was signed so smoothly and dropped all pretenses. Maya, be careful, there might be a trick here. He could be after your money. Hearing this, Maya quickly flipped through the papers several times. I sneered, no need to check. I won't take a single thing of yours, only what rightfully belongs to me. The love between us, like that once shared slice of cake, had been hollowed out by time and betrayal. I haven't gone home during this time. Maya's calls occasionally ring through, but I heartlessly reject or ignore them every time. Her voice, once the gentlest melody in my heart, has now become a clamor I refuse to face. Maya doesn't call often, which has given me a rare stretch of peaceful days. No longer troubled by those arguments and misunderstandings, I can now immerse myself completely in my own world. I started thinking, reminiscing, and planning for the future. Now, only one thought occupied my mind, waiting for the divorce cooling-off period to end as soon as possible, so Maya and I could finalize our divorce without delay. Thus, I began preparing for my comeback. Together with my friends, I started organizing an art exhibition, filled with anticipation and passion in my heart. During this time, my emotions seem to have been stirred by an invisible force, and creative inspiration has been gushing forth like a spring. I am immersed in the world of art, using brushes to depict the emotions and imaginings within my heart. Each piece of work embodies my effort and sweat, serving as a witness to my growth and transformation. After a week of secluded creation, I felt physically and mentally exhausted, yet my heart was filled with satisfaction and joy. I decided to treat myself to a relaxing soak in the hot springs. At the tranquil hot springs resort, I basked in the peace and comfort, as if the entire world had paused just for me. Yet, just as I was immersed in this serenity, I unexpectedly ran into Maya and Leo Vance. Ethan Sterling. I wanted to ignore her, but Maya wouldn't let it go. Ethan Sterling, can't you hear me calling you? Their arrival shattered the peace in my heart. I responded impatiently, what more do you want? Maya clearly didn't expect my attitude and seemed slightly startled. Unintentionally, I caught sight of the ambiguous love bite on her neck. You're still talking. Why haven't you come home these past few days? You didn't even answer my calls. Her tone was full of discontent and accusation, as if I were some irresponsible husband. Leo Vance chimed in from the side, exactly, Ethan. Maya's been so worried about you these days, she hasn't even been able to focus on company matters. Ha! No time for company matters, but plenty of time to soak in hot springs here. I watched the satisfied expressions on their faces and the telltale signs of intimacy between them. I knew their relationship was no longer a secret, but at this moment, I felt an inexplicable surge of anger and helplessness. I responded coldly, "Do you think what I'm doing is too much? Have you ever considered how I feel? Our marriage is already dead in all but name. What's the point of dragging it out any longer?" Before Maya could speak, Leo Vance couldn't hold back. "Maya, it seems Ethan is still angry. It's my fault, maybe I should leave and let Ethan stay with you." "Ethan, don't worry. I'll resign when I get back. I won't bother you anymore." "I'm sorry." Maya looked at him with heartache. "It's not your fault. Don't leave." "Leo, it's because you're too considerate that people take advantage of you. This matter is Ethan Sterling being unreasonable. I'll make him apologize to you." "Ethan Sterling, when will you stop? Do you have to force him to leave? Since when did you become so vicious?" I watched them as if they were fools. It seemed Maya still thought I was throwing a tantrum by mentioning divorce. "You two really do have short memories." "Maya, snap out of it. We're already divorced now." Maya couldn't keep up appearances any longer and started shouting. She claimed she hadn't agreed to the last divorce agreement, so it didn't count. "What kind of nonsense is this? I never signed anything. I don't accept this. I'm telling you, Ethan Sterling, that agreement has no legal validity, and I won't acknowledge it." I stood my ground, my gaze calm and resolute, though not a ripple stirred within me. I said softly but firmly, "Since that one doesn't count, let's sign a new agreement then. Maya, my decision to divorce is final, no one can change it. Besides, isn't this what you wanted? Once we're divorced, you can openly be with your precious Leo Vance." Her face instantly turned ashen upon hearing this, accusing me of disregarding our past and forgetting all the beautiful moments we'd shared. "So your love for me was always a lie. Now you can't wait to show your true colors, Ethan Sterling. What a clever scheme you've devised." Listening to her accusations, my heart churned with mixed emotions, but above all, I felt an overwhelming sense of relief. I took a deep breath and without hesitation, denounced her and Leo Vance's actions. "I'll overlook your nonsense. Just go read the agreement. I want nothing from you, not even you. I gave you everything you asked for, only to be repaid with your sweet murmurings with Leo Vance. Think of all the effort I put into planning that 5th anniversary party, yet you let Leo Vance take my place. Who was it that first wronged the other between us? Who was the first to give up?" I brought up those betrayals and lies, my voice steady yet each word piercing like needles, stabbing into their hearts. Seeing this, Leo Vance didn't retreat but instead added fuel to the flames. "Stop stirring up trouble. I used to think highly of you, never expected you'd be so quick to kick someone when they're down. Maya's such a great woman and you didn't treasure her. Don't worry Maya, you'll always have me from now on. Don't be afraid." His tone was brimming with provocation and smugness, as if declaring their relationship was unbreakable. I watched as the two of them played off each other, but in my heart, there was no anger left, only a faint sorrow and resignation. Maya sneered at me again, saying that without her, I was nothing, and advising me to think carefully. A cold smirk tugged at the corners of my lips at her words. I owed her no justification. My worth was never defined by her, nor by anyone else. I gave a slight shake of my head, silently urging her to check what had been trending online recently. Puzzled, she pulled out her phone, where the screen prominently displayed news of my imminent return to the art world. Those fans from years past, they hadn't forgotten me. They were still waiting for the day I would pick up my brushes again. Reading the comments under the trending topic, each one filled with expectations and support for me, my heart is enveloped by a warm current. I know this is the perfect moment for me to start anew. Maya's expression grew increasingly unpleasant. She probably never imagined that even without her, I could still have my own stage and shine. I gazed at her once more, my eyes brimming with determination and confidence. I said, "Maya, look, even without you, I still have my career, my fans, and my future ahead of me. Yet you chose betrayal and lies." Leo Vance stood nearby, his expression growing complicated. Perhaps he didn't realize his so-called triumphant victory was utterly insignificant. As I watched them, a strange sense of satisfaction welled up inside me. This isn't the sweet taste of revenge, but the sweet taste of liberation. I turned and walked away without another word. I knew the road ahead would be one I'd walk alone, but I was no longer afraid, because I had my paintbrush, my fans, and my own future. As for Maya and Leo Vance, they would become part of my past, sealed away in the deepest recesses of memory. On the day the divorce waiting period ended, the sunlight was just right, as if the very air brimmed with the scent of rebirth. I officially sold the old house I once shared with Maya and am ready to move into a brand new little apartment that belongs only to me. That old house, every corner of it holds fragments of the happiness Maya and I once shared, from the decor style to the furniture arrangement. Everything was meticulously crafted according to her tastes. From small household items to the overall color palette, everything reflected Maya's preferences, as if I had lost myself by her side. On the day we first moved in, I covered Maya's eyes and didn't let go until we stepped inside the house. The house wasn't large, but it was the best we could give each other at that time, so we never moved even after becoming financially capable, because the warmth of that little cottage was irreplaceable. Little did I expect that today these very memories would become lingering shadows in my heart, reminding me of that shattered marriage. Thus, I resolutely chose to bid farewell to the past, selling this house to purchase a completely new beginning. On the day I moved into the new apartment, standing at the doorway while surveying everything before me, an inexplicable sense of unfamiliarity welled up in my heart. This isn't just because of the change in surroundings, but more due to a profound transformation within my heart. For so many years, I seem to have been living to please Maya, but today, I've finally reclaimed the serenity and freedom that belong to me. The layout of the new apartment is simple and cozy, with every piece of furniture personally chosen by me. They not only match my aesthetics but also represent my hopes and dreams for the future. As I stroll through each room, savoring the fresh ambience of this new life, my heart overflows with contentment and joy. After packing everything up, I sat on the balcony just about to relax when Maya posted an update on Instagram, a photo of her snuggled up with Leo Vance watching the sea. The caption read, "Those truly worth it will quietly stand by your side." Before this, Maya had already posted numerous attention-seeking updates like these, nothing more than intimate photos with Leo Vance paired with ambiguous captions. Looking at this post, I couldn't help but let out a cold chuckle. Their happiness has become so laughable and ironic to me. Without another thought, I blocked her, determined to completely let go of this past. But just as I was enjoying this peace alone, there came a knock at the door. I opened it and was pleasantly surprised to discover my friends from the art world had come to celebrate my housewarming. They came bearing gifts and blessings, their faces radiant with genuine smiles. "You actually came?" they asked, laughing boisterously as they set down the presents. "What's wrong, famous artist, not happy to see us? We had to come show our support for Ethan's new home." "Exactly, we can't let our Ethan turn into a reclusive otaku. Ha 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 ha, that would make him an empty nester instead." We sat together in a circle, sharing snippets of each other's lives and discussing our future plans and dreams. We raised our glasses in a toast, celebrating this freshly kindled joy. I gazed at each of their faces, my heart overflowing with gratitude and emotion. I knew it was they who made me feel the beauty and warmth of life, they who gave me the courage and strength to start anew. As night fell and friends gradually departed, I sat alone by the window of my new apartment, watching the twinkling stars outside. I understood the road ahead would be long, but I was no longer afraid, for I now had a home of my own and dreams to pursue. I thought the story between Maya and me had been sealed forever in the depths of memory, just as the waiting period for our divorce had ended. We each embarked on different life paths, worlds apart from then on, never to cross again. Yet fate always seems to enjoy bringing unexpected turns when least expected. The day before the exhibition, as I was browsing the news as usual, a sudden piece of information shocked me. Robert's Tech had gone bankrupt. The news was like a stone cast into a calm lake, sending ripples through my heart. In just a few short months, a company that was once thriving had come to this. I couldn't help but wonder what exactly had happened. But then again, what did it have to do with me? I had already begun my new life, and it was time to let go of past grudges and grievances. On the day of the exhibition, as I was discussing creative inspiration and insights with visiting guests, a sudden commotion erupted at the entrance of the gallery. I followed the sound and saw Maya looking disheveled, kneeling at the center of the exhibition hall, her eyes filled with despair and pleading. "Please listen to me," she said in a trembling voice. "I'm Maya Roberts, and I'm here today to apologize to my ex-husband, the artist behind this exhibition." Her shaky voice drew the attention of everyone around her. In an instant, cameras and phone lenses turned toward her, and this sudden spectacle immediately became the center of attention at the exhibition. I froze, not expecting Maya to appear at this moment, let alone for her to apologize to me in this way. I stood quietly to the side, unable to figure out what trick she had up her sleeve. "Actually, I've always known I owed you an apology." Maya began to sob. "I was wrong. I shouldn't have betrayed you, shouldn't have been deceived by that fraud Leo Vance. His approach to me was calculated from the start. He wanted to steal our company's trade secrets and abscond with all the money. I was foolish, truly deceived by him. In the end, he not only stole confidential documents but also took all the company's money. Now, I have nothing left, no way out, and can only turn to you, hoping you'll forgive me." As soon as her words fell, the surrounding crowd began murmuring. "Only now have I realized my heart, I love only you. Truly, I love you. Please let me come back to you." I remained unmoved, almost amused. Some people, unaware of the truth, began casting accusing glances my way, believing I was too ruthless for treating the troubled Maya with such indifference. I looked at them, feeling a surge of helplessness and anger rise within me. It was time to lay everything bare. "Everyone, please listen to me." I walked up to Maya, my voice steady and firm. Maya was partly right, she did betray me by getting together with Leo Vance. However, her claim about being deceived wasn't entirely the case. The truth is, Leo Vance approached her with an agenda, but that doesn't excuse her betrayal of our marriage. She chose Leo Vance over the love and vows we once shared, that was her decision. Today, she came here to apologize not because she truly realized her mistake, but because she was desperate and wanted to use the pressure of public opinion to gain sympathy. I paused for a moment, scanning the room to find everyone's eyes fixed on me, waiting for what I would say next. More importantly, I went on, Maya, I gave you chances. I gave them when I begged you countless times to come home, gave them on anniversaries, even gave them when I saw with my own eyes how close you two were. But you trampled on my sincerity time and again. So today, not only do I refuse your apology, but I also urge everyone not to be deceived by these superficial tears. We must see the truth of the matter. The real victims are every single one of us. As soon as my words fell, the tide of public opinion began to reverse. Oh my God, this is outrageous. How could that woman bully Master Sterling like this? Truly, artists all have tumultuous fates, that's why they create such magnificent works. That cheating woman deserves a slap across the face, and as for that homewrecker, she ought to get beaten black and blue. Thanks. People began to re-evaluate Maya's actions, their initial sympathy gradually turning into condemnation. The police arrived just in time to restore order at the scene and took Maya away for questioning. That farce, like a sudden storm, was brief yet violent, finally drawing to a close amidst sighs of disappointment. Yet I, at the eye of the storm, surprisingly reaped unexpected results. My art exhibition, propelled by that turmoil, became even more sensational, attracting greater attention and interest. People were not only drawn to my paintings but also deeply moved by the intricate story behind them. Each exhibition feels like a spiritual cleansing, reinforcing my belief in expressing myself through art. After the exhibition ended, I decided to temporarily leave this bustling city and travel with friends to seek new creative inspiration. We journeyed at a leisurely pace, appreciating the scenery along the way and immersing ourselves in the cultural atmospheres of different regions. During those days, we laughed, cried, and debated, but every exchange enriched me and made me cherish these like-minded friends by my side all the more. Eventually, I settled in a mountain town called Cedar Ridge. With its evergreen springs and picturesque landscapes, it felt like a fairyland on earth. I was deeply captivated by the natural beauty and cultural atmosphere here, deciding to stay and make it my new creative base. Here, I found my own rhythm and style, with each painting infused with my love and reflections for this city. The slow and pleasant pace of life in the mountain town gave me more time to think and to contemplate. Here, I met many like-minded friends who came from all corners of the country but gathered together because of our shared pursuit of art. We often discuss art together, share creative insights, and even organize small painting exhibitions, encouraging and supporting each other. Such a life has made my existence richer and more colorful. One day, while browsing the news, I accidentally came across the story of Leo Vance's arrest. They say his crimes were severe, and he'll likely spend the rest of his life in prison. This news brought me neither surprise nor vindictive satisfaction, but rather plunged me into deep reflection. Though we eventually walked different paths, we were once important figures in each other's lives. Now he has paid the price for his actions, while I've moved forward to build a new life of my own. As for Maya, I haven't heard from her again. After that scene she caused at the art exhibition, she briefly became a minor internet sensation. Rumor has it she tried live streaming to stage a comeback when the iron was hot, but her former staff no longer believed in her. Unable to withstand the blow alone, she began showing signs of mental instability. Later, a kind-hearted restaurant took her in as a waitress, at least ensuring she wouldn't starve. But the lawsuit had indeed left her deeply in debt, condemning her to spend the rest of her life repaying loans with little hope of turning things around. Many years passed, and I built a new family, finding happiness that was truly my own. Whenever I reflect on those past events, I'm filled with endless emotion. Now, I've learned to let go of past grievances and cherish the beauty before me. After having children, I took my wife back to my hometown. Walking down the familiar streets, I suddenly saw a woman acting strangely. She looked somewhat familiar, but try as I might, I couldn't recall her name. In that moment, I suddenly realized that everything from the past had become like fleeting smoke. What truly mattered was seizing the present and cherishing those right before me. I smiled and continued forward, my heart filled with gratitude and contentment, because I knew that my wonderful life lay ahead, and all those past experiences were merely scenery along the journey. My happy little home would remain happy forever. The end.